Girls Aloud became the darlings of decorum, the most proper of pop princesses. Oh, who are we kidding?
Yes, there's no plans then to kick off, perhaps, at any point?
No, no plans, but who knows?
They saw that clashes make column inches, so they went for it.
Ooh, I tell you what, that is one band that I would not want to pick a fight with.
Those they've knocked 10 bells out of include Bitter Boy George,
Girls Aloud, I can't stand them. Vile bitches.
lovable mock-meat urchin Lily Allen.
No, I'm not talking about that.
And in 2005, forget the war on terror, it was the Cheryl Tweedy versus Charlotte Church bitch fest that we cared about.
I used to really like Girls Aloud, but now I don't.
These celebrity ding-dongs have kept brand Girls Aloud alive, added edge and given us all a good giggle into the bargain.
They are opinionated women. I love that about them, particularly Cheryl. I mean, Cheryl is gobby, that's what she's known for.
Gobby? Cheryl's gob's as wide as the Tyne Tunnel.
She looks like this little precious doll, but she's not going to have it.
And this size 0 hooligan is so hard, she'll even kick off with the undead.
The first time I met Cheryl, within the first few minutes, I actually said to myself, uh-oh, we're going to have trouble here.
When Yvette Fielding invited Girls Aloud to spend the night in a haunted mansion, as we see in this extraordinary scene, it was a ghost known as the Squire who came off worst.
But you probably...
I don't understand why this Squire is so anal. Don't wind him up. He doesn't want it.
I just think he's not happy.
He doesn't want us in here. I'm
Well, he
telling
just
you
doesn't.
now.
He doesn't have any respect for women.
Well, no, come on. If you're here, just tap the fucking table. Cheryl! You fucker!
She lost her temper with a ghost, which made me laugh my arse off. Sorry, but I did. It was so funny.
Having tried to spook a ghost, viewers then watched in horror as Cheryl had a go at the Princess of Darkness herself, Yvette Fielding.
How are you then? Come with me then.
Well, move.
You move.
You think I'm opening there with no camera on my own to get fucking pelted, bombarded with pebbles?
I think the ghosts were frightened by them, really, quite honestly. I mean, let's face it, when you get sort of like a group of real tough, hardened women walking in, effing and blinding and, you know, thin air, you know, you're going to be a bit peed off, aren't you? Especially if you're a really old ghost from the 1600s.
As well as the feuds and fights, Girls Aloud's image has been a constant source of fascination for the press.
Because they're so beautiful, they're always in the press. And we love to almost look at them like a walking Bible of style, so therefore we love to copy what they're wearing.
Not sure many were copying this look.
They have had some very dodgy looks. The style at the beginning was pretty terrible.
At the beginning, their concept of style was clearly northern, unique.
There were like 10 inches of like foundation going on and mascara, and they actually look quite plastic.
Their hair was restyled, their makeup reworked, and their outfits overhauled. Almost overnight, they went from chavalicious to delicious. One girl in particular underwent a startling transformation. No, not her. Nice tooth job, though.
Finished our tour.
Poor Nicola Roberts has had to endure endless radio roastings from this man. Yes, that's right, this suave, sophisticated hunk. And it's partly because she's ginger.
People think they can take the mickey out of her because you can. You can take the mickey out of ginger people. You're not going to get any rap for it.
All the other girls were gorgeous and tanned and glowing looking.
There was unseen pressure for Nicola to blend in with the other four mahogany madams. But recently, Nicola's lightened up. Quite literally.
I like the fact that we're going back to being natural pale as well as redheads. Very good, I'm with you on that.
Tired of being endlessly hosed down with gravy browning, now she's happy in the skin she's in. Proud to be pale, glad to be ginger. Good on you, girl.
Suddenly she's like, you know what, I'm not the ugly duckling, I'm just as hot as all the rest of my bandmates, so she's not in the shadow any longer.
So they're gobby, and they're gorgeous, but sometimes even Girls Aloud can't get themselves into the papers. That's when their men do it for them.
Sarah Harding, arguably the best looking in the band, seems to attract naughty boys, so it makes for great newspaper stories.
Sexiest male. There's too many.
Hardcore party animal Harding's been papped around town with a host of famous folk on her arm.
I don't even think they come out at one point, but that went for about 5 minutes.
She's even been seen with the best. But hasn't everybody? Meanwhile, dating pretty boys like Jesse Metcalfe of the perfectly groomed eyebrows has kept bandmate Nadine Coyle's profile riding high.
Well, cynics would say that she only went out with Jesse Metcalfe for the press in America.
Nadine recently said that men are just good accessories, and now she has a new one to match her outfit, in the form of New York Giants star player Jason Bell. As for bandmates Kimberly and Nicola, their love lives are a non-competitive sport. Kimberly's been with boyfriend Justin Scott for years, and Nicola stays strictly off radar. Thank God for Cheryl, who makes up for the pair of them, and all because she's with this bloke.
Yeah, Cheryl did tell me a porky pie once, which I'll never forget. 4 or 5 years ago when I interviewed her, I asked her if she'd marry a footballer, and she said she never would. And look what happened there.
This is what happened there. In 2006, she became the first Girls Aloud to marry when she and footballer Ashley Cole tied the knot in a quiet, understated little ceremony that was largely ignored by the press. Well, the press in Peru, perhaps. And as so many couples do, they appeared in a TV documentary to show viewers how happy they were.
Me little family. Doesn't he look? She's like, I've got my little dad, he talks to them and that. He'll go mad for telling you. Come on! It's starting to rain!
Storm clouds were gathering. Before long, there were allegations that Ashley was playing away.
I know they were having debates in the papers. Should she, shouldn't she? Take him back, throw out the love route. What do you do?
When the chips were down, Cheryl turned things to her advantage. She stood by her man, won the sympathy vote and made headline news yet again.
It's been an amazing career enhancer. Not that she'd ever, if she turned back time, she'd never have wanted it, of course. But I think it's really made, suddenly, Girls Aloud more interesting.
So they've played it pretty perfect when it comes to romance, notoriety and image. All key ingredients to a band's success, but, and keep this next bit secret, all that would mean nothing if Girls Aloud weren't, well, good actually.
Over time, the public have taken to the girls, but, you can't, it's not force of personality alone. You only buy a song if it's good.
How the hell have they got their song so right? We turn to the one man who should know. He knows the girls, and he knows bands that have hits. He's been in one. It's Duncan from Blue.
They kept just bollocks. What am I going to say? Girls Aloud lyrics, they're really catchy. They've got little words in it that you can. Promise I made, promise I made. It sounds like blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, boom boom. Checkbook and pen, checkbook and pen. It's that kind of little simple, almost like rhyming, nursery rhyme kind of.
Oh, someone please help him out.
You hear a Girls Aloud single, and even though the style changes, it's obvious it's Girls Aloud.
That is the secret of the great pop song, that you can sing it back after 2 listens.
But Girls Aloud rarely get involved with the whole songwriting thing, so who does most of the work? Operating from a converted barn somewhere outside Maidstone, the shadowy pair of secretive songwriters have penned hits for Cher, Kylie and the Sugar Babes. They go by the sinister-sounding name Xenomania. But their friends call them Brian and Miranda.
They're the ones who've maintained creative control pretty much the whole time, and quite an intriguing pair because they very rarely do interviews. You don't see them out and about. I don't even know what they look like.